Okay, I think that works though. My Sari bot connection needs to be refreshed. I'm not doing that. But I think we're live now. I don't do IRL streams a lot, so I have this on like a cardboard box right now that just came in. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna start anyway. But hello everybody, hello VOD watchers. This VOD today is actually going to be one of the last regular VODs that goes up on the main Emily Cookie Dough channel. I just made another channel called Emily Cookie Dough VODs, which because it doesn't have videos, it's hard to search up right now. But I'm going to start in the new year uploading everything except for our Elden Ring VODs are still going to go to the main channel, but everything else starting with like Sims 4, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, I got that for Christmas, and then Animal Crossing, we're gonna start putting those on the VODs channel. So this will be our kind of last normal stream, because we started, one of our first videos on the main channel was the holiday baking stream from last year. So it only makes sense that the baking stream from this year would help round that off. But I know it's New Year's Eve, so I don't know if we'll get any if we'll get any traffic here today, but it is literally the last day of the year. For those that don't know, we did an Extra Life charity stream at the start of November, and one of those milestones was that I would do another baking stream this year. And it is the end of the year. I wasn't able to do it earlier in the holiday season because of sickness, not COVID, not the flu, but whatever other like strand has been going around that knocked me out for like 2 weeks straight. And then immediately, as soon as I started feeling better, was out of town for traveling plans. So just got back like Monday night, and I was a little too tired from travel to do this stream yesterday, so here we are at the last minute. But yeah, today we are going to be making two types of cookies. We're going to be making gingerbread cookies, of course, and I already pre-made the dough for that this morning and let it sit. And then after that, while we're letting these bake in the oven, we are going to make some chocolate mint cookies to go with it. I also have cookies from like 5 different people in the house, so I don't want to make a huge batch of cookies, but I think these recipes do tend to make a lot, so I might be taking some cookies to family tomorrow. But yeah, we're just going to be hanging out in here. I'm not an IRL streamer. If you're new here, I am a variety streamer. I wish I had a better setup, and I wish I had a better kitchen to do these streams, but it's Emily Cookie Dough, so I do try to do a baking stream once a year. This is the second one I've ever done though, so let's get started. I'm gonna preheat the oven. I've got some butter for the next recipe sitting on it so it can soften. But I'm not worried about that preheating because we're going to need to flatten the dough, and this I remember taking up a lot of time. Let's see. But I didn't put it in the refrigerator at all this year, so it should be very easy to work with. But it almost looks like a thing of brown bread. Oh yeah, this will be easy to work with. I did split this recipe in half as it recommends, I think to make it easier to roll out, so there is another dough bowl like this. I put it in the freezer for, and however many months we finally run out of Christmas cookies, I can make the other half of the gingerbread stuff, but we'll only be making one half of this recipe today. Then I will, voila, tilt you guys down a little bit. I had to like rearrange the whole kitchen. I'm gonna have to rearrange the whole kitchen again this week, because we got a lot of kitchen appliances for Christmas. My favorite one being my parents got me an espresso machine. I haven't used it yet because I have no counter space. There are so many appliances on the other right behind the camera that I shifted to make room for just this free counter here. But yeah, that I'm very excited about because you guys know I've been doing like the instant espresso lattes all year and stuff. So now I have the fancy person machine. I've never really used an espresso before, so I ordered a little coffee stand to go by my streaming setup. That's where I've been keeping some of the coffee stuff recently anyway. So I will be setting that up. Should get here on Friday, so I might be able to make a latte this weekend. But yeah, we're going to roll out this dough. And just very liberally use the flour here. Already this is way easier of a time than we had last year. I don't know if my fridge is just at a weird temperature or what. But yeah, just letting it sit out for, it's been just 2 hours since I made the dough. So just let it sit room temperature. I did wrap it up just to see if that would help as well, which I think it did. Help keep it soft. I'm gonna try to roll this out fairly thin. I think the recipe says to do it about 1/4 of an inch. I can't measure. So we're just gonna go as thin as I want to with this. And this is only my second time making gingerbread cookies. Last year was the first, hence why I was a little frazzled last year's experience. But I think the baking part of this stream will only be like less than 2 hours, honestly, since I did the prep work ahead of time, and the other recipe we're doing isn't a brand new one like the sugar cookie one disaster was last year, but this recipe is one I've made a lot. We're just adding some cocoa powder and some mint chips to it. So, plan for the baking portion of this is to get these gingerbread cookies ready, put them in the oven. While those are baking, we will mix the other cookie recipe and prep those, get those in the oven, and then while the other cookies are baking, we will be cooling the gingerbread cookies and then decorating them. So all in all, I think about 2 hours. After that, we are going to do a quick break and then start up another stream at the actual computer. Because we are doing a Sims 4 Love Island challenge today. Another reward from the charity stream. So we've got some interesting characters. My Sim is going to host it. She will not be participating, of course, but she's going to host it, as well as the Sims version of my cat and the Sims version of my parents' dog Yoshi, who is notoriously a very cute purebred Shiba, but also a pervert. So he will be very happy to be hosting the competition. I just put his Sim in like the other day. But we've got some really interesting characters. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. We have an extra gothified Bella Goth. I know she's married, but she's in there anyway. What's Mortimer gonna do about it? You know? But yeah, we have her. We have the Phantom of the Opera. Funnily enough, that was a request from my mom, and we are actually going to go see the Phantom of the Opera this weekend. It's my mom's favorite musical. It's definitely one of like the big three to me with musicals as well, so I'm excited. My partner has never seen Phantom of the Opera, so I'm very excited to see his reaction to it as well. But the Phantom will be there. I put in a few Elden Ring characters. We put in our protagonist, our Lava Girl protagonist. I think I called her Lava Tarnished in The Sims, so she's in there. Elden Hick from Sims 1, who showed up conveniently as we started playing Elden Ring this year, soon to be last year. He is in there, and then I put Ronnie and Blade in. I know they're step siblings, so I did put it in as they have a sibling connection, so they shouldn't mess with each other. I checked their relationship before, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set them as siblings. so that they don't go for each other. So don't worry about that there, but they are both present. And then I threw in Squidward as well. Squidward has been causing drama in our Sims 4 file. He and Mr. Krabs were making out. Mr. Krabs came to my Sim specifically and said, "Hey, I like guys," and I was like, "I didn't ask, I'm your landlord." And then right after that, Mr. Krabs went and married Peach, after Peach was dealing with the divorce and death of Bayonetta. So the Sims 4 file is pretty crazy. So we're gonna add a little more to that. I was gonna put it down for a while, but I've heard rumors that the next expansion pack will be a medieval pack, which, as someone that likes to do decades challenges, and like legacy challenges with like royalty, that would be amazing if they did a royalty or a medieval pack. That would do wonders for my playthroughs off stream. And then I've heard rumors that it's going to be the last expansion pack. I don't know if they're fully going to wrap up the game in the next year after a decade, or if they are still going to be basically almost like a live service, but they're pausing content for now. I don't know how to feel about it, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, these are the little gingerbread. We've got the bigger gingerbread ones, and then we've got mini ones. I'll be making some of each. Which side's the... There we go. And you know what, actually, I have these Mario cookie molds also. Well, my boyfriend does, so I do. He was asking if I was going to use these today, and I originally said no, but you know what? We'll go ahead and make them. What's the harm? Do a flower one. And then I like to just push all the molds down and then just peel it off around them first. Just kind of squeeze those out of their little areas. I'm gonna have to I had to clean the kitchen so much to make this stream possible. I'm gonna have to re-clean it again after the mess this is making. I'm going to a potluck with my family tomorrow, so I'm thinking, am I going to bring cookies? I said originally we were gonna, I almost knocked you guys over. Originally I was gonna bring something else, but then I was like, this is working. You guys are leaning a lot. I hope you don't fall over. Into the sink is what awaits you. Alright. Just put them on the baking tray. Okay, I cut too deeply with the Mario ones. They might be, these might be too thin. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm curious. Wasn't that rough on the mushroom? That should be fine. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. I think with the Mario cutouts, this sheet's gonna fill up. This dude's beheaded. This sheet's gonna fill up right off the bat, so they'll be fine. We can just go ahead and throw it in the oven. For how many minutes? 7 minutes. That's fine. More. Move all of these back. Might have rolled them out too thin. I had the opposite problem last year where I just couldn't. The dough was like too rough because I put it in the fridge, but yeah, leaving it out for 2 hours, it's the perfect consistency for me, at least, to work with. And I'm baking it at the lower gingerbread time because I like them to be softer. I know a lot of people, when you think of gingerbread, you think of like gingerbread snaps, and you think of like that crunch. I like soft desserts. Some of the family we visited over the winter break actually had some gingerbread men that I decorated. And those were very tough at first, but when we put them in with the other cookies, they absorbed the moisture. I don't know from what other cookie, but they stole the life force from some of the other cookies and became very soft themselves. And for those that didn't know, a life hack with baking and stuff is if you like softer cookies yourself and you don't like when cookies get stale the next day, store them with a piece of bread. Store them with a piece of bread, and the moisture will go from the bread into the cookies, so the bread will become stale, so don't eat it, but the cookies will be much softer. I always love sharing that fact with people because they always initially go to eat the bread. They're like, why is there a piece of bread in here? I should eat it. And I'm like, there is no moisturizer left in that bread. I bet I can get a few more of the smaller ones in here. Let's see if I can make this work. They're so cute. This is going so much better than last year. I just need to, whenever recipes like refrigerate the dough for a bit, I just need to leave it out for a bit. I should not, there's something wrong with the temperature in my fridge. I should not use it unless absolutely necessary. I've got some more space. Should I put more flour down because they are sticking to the counter a bit. It's tearing. Their little limbs are getting torn off. The children. I'm super excited to run this Sims 4 Love Island challenge. Like, I had so much fun test running it. It's the only thing about the pack I bought that I liked, so I don't know if the pack itself, I still wouldn't say it's worth $40 at all, but I do like that feature. So I did one thing right in the $40 pack. All the gingerbread mans, look at them. They're going into battle. Try to hold it at an angle. I know a lot of times I see fails where people like hold up their bowl of like soup to the camera and just pour it. I'm gonna try to not act like an influencer today. I don't think it was anyone like super famous or anything, but I saw like an influencer coming out of like a Jimmy John's. We were waiting for like Chipotle in like the parking lot while a family member was going in and picking it up. And yeah, we saw someone walking out of Jimmy John's like holding the bag but also holding their phone, and they were like they didn't even show the sandwich yet. But no hate, I'm running a horrible setup right now for the stream. But I wonder, like, did Jimmy John's get something new that I'm not aware of? I feel like I've never gotten anything new at Jimmy John's. I've only ever gotten my same order. Okay, we need more flour. Stuff is sticking. I'm just trying to maximize the use of the dough. This is ginger. Oh my goodness. Look at these boys. That's very hot. Let those sit on the baking sheet for another minute, and then we'll move them to a cooling rack once we have one available. I'll probably just do a few more with this, and then we'll just call it and put the rest on the sheet. There's probably enough of the dough left still. Maybe I'll save it, actually. There's probably enough dough left for like one more row of them. But for now, this is all I'm gonna make, because like I said, we have cookies from 5 different people in the house right now. And I'm adding to that and making more. Let me roll this up, put it back in here, and put it into the freezer. So put my slippers on. Wow. Okay, everyone's gonna have to start scooting a little closer together. gingerbread don't really spread that much in the while baking, which is good. We still want to give them a bit of space because they do get puffy. Do we have room for these? There's gonna be room. Room for like one of them. I know I can squeeze one more gingerbread on here. There we go. I think that'll work. I think that'll work somehow. Okay, so now those guys are out. So we don't need these anymore. We will still need the flour. Blah. Well, let's go ahead and put this tray here. Where's my other spatula? Oh. Let me hold the tray so you guys can see. What? I'm curious how these bigger ones turned out with the slow. With the lower baking time. Like the small ones look good. The bigger gingerbread, they look okay, but these guys are noticeably much bigger. But yeah, I have red, green, and white frosting for these guys. But we gotta let them cool for a bit. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna pop them in the fridge. Speed up the cooling. Perfect. Guys, come back up a little bit now. So that's all we'll be doing with the rolling pin today, because I learned last year, don't roll out refrigerated dough, it hurts. I don't have the strength for it. I don't care if the flavor's better if you do it that way. I'm not built for that. So I'm gonna I've got this big ol' heavy duty KitchenAid. Old Faithful. The newer ones look pretty, but I know they don't hold up as long. This one, I don't know how long it's been in the family, but it's one of the really hefty ones. And it does make weird sounds sometimes, but it doesn't break. It doesn't break. Hopefully it doesn't today, but like it was making some noises while mixing the gingerbread earlier today, but it held fast. That was loud. I will be using the standard attachment for it because these are just simple. This is like the Nestle Toll House recipe, but I'll be making my own alterations to it to make it dark chocolate and to make it mint, and I'm baking them myself, so they're not Nestle cookies. I'm not even using, my boyfriend ran out to get chips, or like baking chips, and he even got the Ghirardelli ones. We're doing high quality today. Fancy baking chips. And then we've got the Andes mint chips. So let's start mixing this recipe. So flour, baking soda, and salt. We're gonna mix our dries in a separate bowl. If I'm lazy, not that I've ever been lazy in my life, but if I'm lazy, sometimes I'll wait and I'll just mix the flour and the baking like powder and salt in at the end and not mix them separately. If you have like the gingerbread, I had to mix the dries in a separate bowl because they had so many ingredients. But when it's like just flour and the rising agents, sometimes I skip a step or two, but I'm not going to today. Going to use 1/4 of a cup for this, so it is 2 1/4 cups, so I'm going to need 9 scoops of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, and 9 of that. Where's the little clip I had for this? It'll turn up, I guess. Oh, here. But yeah, we've got that, and then I have both baking powder and baking soda here, because you need both for the gingerbread stuff. Always check if you're using baking powder or baking soda. They're different uses for different recipes. This is baking soda though. I have a teaspoon over here. Right? Yeah. So 1 teaspoon of that, and then another teaspoon of salt to activate that. And I knocked over the vanilla. And then it says just to whisk these together. It's all like white powders in here, so it's not going to be like that pleasing to mix because it all looks the same, but the important thing of why you would want to mix these together and not be lazy is to make sure the like activating agents are throughout the entire mix. Let me grab the gingerbread and let them sit. Look at this family. Oh my goodness. They're beautiful. So baking temperature for those was 375. Same for this recipe, so I don't have to do anything about that. That's nice. Okay, good, this worked. So this uses 2 cups of butter, or yeah, 1 cup of butter, my bad. 1 cup of butter, 2 cups would be a lot, which is 2 sticks or 4 half sticks of butter. You want them to be softened, not melted, so I took the gingerbread butter out on time, but I forgot to take these out, so at the start of stream, I just put them on the oven while it was preheating, and by now, so what, 30 minutes in, they're soft. So if you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to leave something out, just put it on the oven while it's preheating, and that will do the job. It's a little meltier than I'd want it to be, but it'll still work. Please open. What the? What? Throw these away. So it'd be the butter, granulated sugar. I have, both my partner and I have had like things of sugar from like our other places that we still haven't gone through. So now combined we have the remnants of 2 different sugars. I think we might only need the sugar from this, but we'll see. Where's my other 4th cup? Oh, it's up here. Cool. I had to like quickly do all the dishes for everything, which is always fun. Yeah, we need 3/4. I almost put that in the dry ingredients. This is going into the mixer. The sugars are. One. I wish I could get the angle better on this. Two. You know what? I'm just gonna empty the bag. I'm just gonna empty the bag. That's about 3/4. Now we're down to 1 sugar. Excellent. And then we need 3/4 of brown sugar as well. I like to use light brown sugar. I did that for the gingerbread as well, but dark brown sugar is just light brown sugar and molasses anyway, which wasn't on stream, but that's what I used for the gingerbread. So let's do 1. This is a new bag. Also, last year I ran into the problem of the brown sugar being too hard, and we had to like microwave it and pick at it with a knife. But similar to like the bread sugar with the cookies, if you just get one of like these clay little like tablets that they have to soften sugar in stores, you just soak it in water for a little bit and then you put it in like the corner of where you're storing your brown sugar. It keeps it soft for like a month or so before you need to refresh it. Easy peasy. And then vanilla extract is another teaspoon. And at this point, this is where I'm making an alteration to like the regular Nestle like recipe. I'm just gonna add a tiny, microscopic little splash of mint extract, because this stuff is strong. That's why they sell you less, other than ripping you off. It's very strong, and we'll already be putting mint chips into here. So just the teensy, I think like maybe a 1/4 of the teaspoon, maybe a little more than that. Okay, that's enough. But yeah, like half the amount we did for the vanilla, just a little. I could have even just splashed it really quickly in there, because we are going to be using we're using unsweetened cocoa powder, and we're going to be using the dark chocolate chips. So I want to make sure that the mint, that is the intended like flavor to combat the bitterness, is prevalent, but it's not the star of the show. So now we just hoist this up. You don't want to watch. I just turned the camera off and on again on y'all. basically the main thing we're looking for with that is that we're going to want it to be like, you want to see most of the butter smooth and like smoothed out. The mall is here with the resub for 2 years. I need to make a new alert for that. Yeah. Oh my god, you're setting a record. I gotta give you new stuff. But thank you, Lamal. Happy New Year's Eve. Very much appreciated. So far, the baking stream is going much better than the one I did last year. I think I learned a lot, even though the cookies all came out fine, just like managing stuff. Like, we'll be doing all the baking in like one portion here, and then we'll be going to Sims 4 for the rest of the day afterwards while the cookies cool. So gonna go hang with the fam? Yeah, of course. I know it's a holiday, so I'm not expecting today to be a busy stream day, honestly. More so just doing it so it's on record that I did the stream. I did it. But yeah, anyone popping in to say hello, and then popping out to go see family, I hope you have a lovely end to your 2025. I'm not gonna lie, I will be off of stream like the hour before Stranger Things drops, because I have plans. We are going, my partner and I are gonna get drunk and watch the finale. I am an avid, I like seasons 3 and 4 of Stranger Things a lot. I love seasons 1 and 2 of Stranger Things. Season 5, I don't hate it. But I also like didn't hate Rise of Skywalker when it came out. It just, it's like, oh, it's there. You know? So there's the possibility, I've seen a lot of theories going around that season 5 feels weird on purpose, and there'll be some big plot twists, and then like you'll go back and watch the episode to be like, oh, all of those really weird acting choices were intentional, they weren't being lazy with the writing. And I really hope that's too, but this finale's only 2 hours. I don't know if it's gonna do all the stuff it needs to do. So those are my plans here after stream. But don't spoil season 5 for anyone that hasn't caught up. My boyfriend and I just finished volume 2 last night because we were out of town like for a full week for Christmas. So yeah, no spoiling the new season for folks, but it has been interesting, to say in a word. We have exactly 2 eggs left, which we need for this recipe. There were 4 eggs at the start of the day. I don't think my partner knew this, but he like never makes eggs for breakfast. He made one this morning, so that took it down to 3 eggs. I needed exactly 3 eggs for baking. 1 for the gingerbread, 2 for this. So, literally perfect timing. I gotta go to the store, but I don't want to do it this week because it's a holiday week and everyone's at the store. I don't want to go. But we're gonna mix these eggs one at a time. We don't want to overmix them, of course, but mixing them one at a time, that way it's not like too soggy at first. Each one gets fully mixed into everything. And go wash my hands because it's yucky. Blah. While doing that, I might move the other gingerbread into thing. Actually, hold on. I won't do that. Because I'm at risk of overmixing this right now. I'm gonna have to scrape the sides here. I know there's an attachment that will like scrape the sides as you mix. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm just a skeptic. I'm like, I don't believe that would work for everything. So I'm not gonna get it. Scraping the sides of the bowl is annoying, but it takes like 2 seconds to do. Okay, this is not actually making... What is going on? These are a different brand of eggs than I usually use. So let's just go ahead and... I think the bowl is too big for what we're mixing right now. So let's just go ahead and start adding our dry ingredients. In fact, I'm just gonna add it all at once. Screw it. Screw it. After this, we're going to go off script again, and I want to add that little bit of cocoa powder. I want to see, you know, just how much should we use. Okay, everything is mixed now, so I'm going to turn up more just to be extra sure. And I'm actually going to, don't eat cookie dough and all that. I eat it because I'm Emily cookie dough, but don't, it's not healthy, it's not safe, don't do it. I do want to taste the dough and see if I got the mint right. That's very light, that's very faint, which is good because we're going to be adding more mint stuff in, so that's the balance I wanted right now. Now, with that in mind, I actually have no idea how much I want to use, so let me just get a spoon. Get a stirring spoon even. Just add 1 spoonful in and see. Like once the dough looks darker, then I think I'll be satisfied. I think it needs another. Another taste test. It doesn't taste bitter or anything. I'm going to do 1 more, and then I think and then I think we'll be all right after that. Okay, now it tastes a little more chocolatey. And the dough is now like more of a light brown color instead of that like dark tan color. And it will darken with baking too, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to use the entire bag of these chips. Just because I want them to be chocolatey. We're going to set it to stir and mix these in. those are good, and there's still a lot of gaps between some of the chip placements, which means there's room for mint chips. And notably, these aren't just Andes mints, these are specifically the baking chips version. I think the regular ones would melt too quickly. Baking chips are meant to endure the heat a little bit better, so that they'll melt in your mouth and not already be pre-melted. So if you're having trouble, like you're picking up different pieces of candy or like chocolate, and you're having trouble baking with them, but you still want to try something new, look for baking versions of those things. And only used about half of the bag here because we already poured a full bag of chocolate chips in. We don't really need to go overboard with this. Oh yeah, I think that's going to work out perfectly. I think that's exactly how I wanted it to come out. It's not like super minty, it's not like super deep dark chocolate, but it has just hints of those flavors. So it does feel like the standard chocolate chip recipe, just with a little more additives. Let's just scoop these and get these in the oven. And we'll bake them for 10 minutes each round. I'm using the smaller cookie sheets today, but I'm like dual wielding them because I have two of the same size. And then I have a little like scoop that puts them at the perfect amount. And we should still be able to get a dozen on each sheet. I'm surprised stream hasn't, watch it crash, but I'm not sure what the bitrate is. I'm not like previewing or watching the stream at all like I usually should be. But hopefully bitrate's okay, because I'm just on the apartment Wi-Fi, which is notoriously horrible, and my partner is using it for a call right now. So bitrate quality might not be the greatest when I watch this back, but it is at least working today, which is all I needed. And then it looks like the other internet that we're using for PC, I tested it. It might be a little patchy because it snowed the other night, so it might be a little patchy throughout the day, but I think we'll be alright for that stream also. So popping these in for 10 minutes. And now, let's get the other cookies onto this rack. Put these in the fridge. Take these back out. So now these have cooled a little bit, so we can start to decorate them. I'm going to taste this dude. This dude's face got messed up, so I'm gonna try him as the test. Also, hello there, Devil's Cry. How are you? They definitely firmed up in the fridge. Oh my god. Actually, let me grab one of the soft ones too. Soft did they come out straight out of the oven? Pretty soft. And I'm doing much better. I know last I streamed I was still getting over that. Not COVID, not the flu, whatever else has been going around this season, so none of the vaccines I got. I think they did help me get over it, compared to people that didn't get them. Seemed to last longer, but it was still very brutal. But finally was over that, was traveling, did like 15 hours of road tripping to see family. We had like, I think 5 different Christmases the past week, so I've been busy. I've been busy, but we're back now. I do have some New Year's plans tomorrow, and then I do have some weekend plans on Sunday, but officially starting to get back into streaming after all the travel and after all the being sick. December was pretty light, so I was definitely upset about that, but at the same time, life happens, so you just gotta do what you gotta do. We're back now. So yeah, we'll be finishing up the cookies for like probably another hour or so. And then we will swap over back to the PC setup while the icing cools on these cookies, to play Sims 4 and do our Love Island challenge. Very interesting cast of characters. Will anyone find love? Probably not, knowing how our Sims files go, but maybe. Maybe someone will. Okay, so let's start with red. Can I open this? Hello. I'm gonna use scissors. I can't. I'm not strong enough to open it. Okay. Are you serious? I know you're supposed to cut them off once you get the cap off, but I'm gonna go have to ask my boyfriend to open these real quick. One moment, everybody. Shout out to my mans, he just ripped the caps off easily, but they hurt my hands. Detour over. Okay, now we can actually trim the lids to what size we want to use for the frosting. And I'm not gonna put them back on again until we're fully done with this. I feel like the white's gonna be really detailed work, so I'm only gonna make it at the small area. That. The the green and the red I feel like we'll do heavier amounts of, so I am gonna cut it a bit wider. More like that. Okay, what do we want to start with? I almost want to start with the Mario ones. They're simple enough. Actually, yeah, you guys can see the bottom of the row. That works. Not the cleanest, but it's a cookie. It is definitely a cookie that exists, and that's all I need. That's truly just all we need. Let's see. The fire flower obviously needs some as well. I don't have different shades of red though, so I guess we'll just do... I'm not sure what we'll do. Maybe we just do it Christmas themed and have each row be a different color. Oh my gosh, Okay, now for mine. The ones I decapitated, I'm gonna do a little blood squirt on. So, you know, if the stream rating goes up for gore, understandable. Yeah. That looks awesome! That's the most artistic thing I've ever done in my life. Look at that. Leaking, I'll do. Give you a red dress. Stranger Things who? I'm the master of the genre. Oh, the other cookies are about to go off any second now. Let me finish the dress really quickly. I'm just gonna ignore that. They'll be fine. Alright, put it there. Now what? We take these cookies off, we let them sit, we get the next round of chocolate chip cookies in the oven. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think they're gonna deflate a little bit because my baking powder is really old and I think I put a little too much salt in. But But again, remember, we used cocoa powder, so these aren't burnt. If anything, they're a little underdone. But they're not burnt, it's just dark because it's a darker cookie. I am going to use this to break them up a bit. Some of them are too close. So it's easier to break them up right away rather than later. If you've ever seen like perfectly circle cookies, people shape them when they're fresh out of the oven and then let them keep setting. Because you can't really alter it later. So let's scoop the next bunch. And this should make like 4 or maybe even 5 batches. I might just stop at 4 batches, honestly. I don't want there to be a 10. Let me get this out of the KitchenAid. Ah! There's so much stuff I'm knocking over right now. It would be easier to do this the other way. We put the tray down, and we scoop. There we go. Back into the oven. And now back to icing. We've got, so yeah, we've got the red on most of these guys. Icing's starting to solidify. I'm actually going to start using some of the white. Actually, there might be a thing of white icing with a wider cap in the fridge. That I can use potentially. For this flower or for the mushroom? Maybe. This was a bad idea. I think this will work once this icing warms up a bit more. It's a little too cold. Again, my refrigerator, what's it doing? Yeah, just gonna put this over here. Actually, I'm gonna put it on the stove. I'm gonna let that do its thing. And just focus on detail work for everything else. Crossing. I'm just, never mind. I'm just gonna cut this wider, I think. There's nothing I'm doing that's going to need to be super detailed like this. There we go. There we go. I think I've messed this all up. You can't even see its eyes anymore. You know what? I'm gonna cover its eyes. Just fill it. It's just a regular flower. Also, hello, Guided. May 2026 be filled with all the cookie dough of my dreams? That's a lot of cookie dough. I don't know if we can make the universe get on board with that. But I hope you've had a lovely 2025. I hope 2026, we're starting off with an Animal Crossing update, so I know 2026 already has big plans for you. I might try to keep up with and play Animal Crossing on like a monthly basis, similar to how we have with Elden Ring, you know? You know, I always say New Horizons is the worst one, but it's still, in terms of the life sim genre, an S-tier life sim. And if they're randomly putting out a new update for it, I might want to just keep up with it and play like the little holidays and stuff each year. Like, I'm very tempted to... I always, for New Year's Eve, like to go on to Animal Crossing and watch the countdown from there. That is what the New Year's Eve countdown is for me. Of course, watching the ball drop at the same time is important, but... yeah, I feel like that's the best depiction of New Year's in a game for me, is how the Animal Crossing series does it. So I always like their little holidays, except Halloween. Don't play Animal Crossing on Halloween. Never play an Animal Crossing game on Halloween. Never. I'm trying to warn you. But yeah, I kind of want to get back into it. I mean, you guys have heard me say on the channel that we play a lot of life sims, but I want like an active one a year would be nice. This past year it was kind of like Inzoi and the Sims franchise, which will still be the case next year, and then we're going back into Miitopia, and the new Tomodachi game in the spring will be added to all of that. But yeah, I think I want to keep up with New Horizons again, especially since we don't have a new Splatoon game yet, and when we do have one, I think it's going to be single player. And we're going to wrap up Elden Ring next month, so feel the call of Animal Crossing. Mushroom's not looking that bad. From a distance. You love the Halloween event? I think it just traumatized me as a kid. I do really love the idea of it, but as a child, logging on to City Folk, like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what they do for Halloween, and not having bought the candy, because I'm like, I'm just gonna get candy on Halloween. Why would I buy the candy in the store? With my pockets full of my favorite stuff. You go up to the villagers and they're like, trick or treat, and you're like, oh, I don't have anything for you. I thought I was trick-or-treating. They mug you. They beat you up and they mug you. They're like, you don't have candy for me? And then they steal your stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, so I was trying to run home to my house. Someone else ran into me and did the same thing. Like, the villagers are so selfish. They're so selfish on Halloween. It messed me up as a kid. And my parents say the same thing. They will forget about the event some years, and they're avid Animal Crossing players, and they'll be like, my god, we didn't buy enough candy. And they're like, no one touched the console today. They take it seriously. That's life or death, and I can't even blame them. little dress for them. Do I give the beheaded guy some like pants? I just kind of like the beheaded guy as is. I kind of just want to leave him like that. He's perfect. Give this guy some pants. I think it's coming along. I'm going to move the other cookies onto... I don't have any more drying racks. I should have one, actually. Where did it go? Beyond my knowledge. It's not on this realm anymore, apparently. So I'll just use a plate. Start stacking these cookies onto it. Oh my gosh, this plate is already gonna be stacked so high of cookies. Oh my god. I forget they do give you more candy on New Horizons. They give you a few more opportunities. But at the same time, it's like that's what I want the game to be mean to me. Is as I've gotten older, the villagers have gotten nicer, and I'm like, it should be the opposite. I'm ready to throw hands now. I'm ready to attack someone during aerobics class. Like, I've trained my whole life. But yeah, regardless, holidays in Animal Crossing are always really creative, and I have always liked that about the franchise, so I kind of want to keep up with the holiday schedule this year, whether on stream or off stream. I'm trying to figure out where to put the cookies. There go the other ones. I'll put them right there. There's so much going on. Where's my oven mitt? Just gonna let everything cool for a second before putting the new ones in. Good luck running to the grocery store today. I was going to go, but I'm like, I can't go on a holiday. I'm going to stress myself out. But yeah, good luck. And then if I don't see you, Happy New Year. I will be streaming Sims 4 doing a Love Island challenge after this, so probably in 40 minutes we'll swap over to that, I'm guessing. And then I will wrap that stream up though before Stranger Things drops, because whether this finale is good or not, I need to have a thing of amaretto in my hand and I need to be watching it live. So those are my plans for the evening. I kind of want to make this guy's eyes green. This one, it doesn't look great up close, but from a distance... Wow! That's as close as you guys get to see it. Just trust me. give you green hair. I'm gonna give a little bang action too. Wow. Maybe. Maybe a wow. Let's see. I'll give you like green boots. The boots are not, okay, it's hard to do the feet. I should leave their feet blank. The boots are not booting. Give this guy a little green shirt. They're turning out lovely. Okay. Now that these guys are sitting for a bit, I need to do one more wave of icing once they stop, and then we'll just go on and ice the remaining dude. My mouth is really dry also, so I can't really taste well, but there is, you don't really taste it immediately in the moment, but there is a really nice crunch of mint at the end, and it tastes very, not strong dark chocolatey, but it definitely tastes more like cocoa than it does milk chocolate. That's not bad. I'm happy with that. More. This will be batch 3 we're putting in. So we'll see how many we can get out of this. I might have to start loading some of these directly into the cookie jar. Because I don't think the plate will hold all of them, and that's currently the only way I have to like cool them. It's not a requirement for wherever we end up moving next year. But if we had more counter space, I don't even want like fancy appliances or anything, like we just had a bit more counter space. And or an actual pantry, not just like cupboard space. I think that would be a game changer. Right now we just have like these cupboards above the limited counter space, so everything, food, silverware, appliances, all have to go into the same spaces. Nowhere has like a dedicated space. So that's why I'll be reorganizing it all. Probably like this weekend. Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna make at least 4 dozen. Possibly, I think it might make 5 dozen. Okay. I'm going to do more icing on these, and then we're going to put these guys back in the fridge, and we're going to pull the other ones out. go. In fact, I'm gonna put the little eyeballs back on top here. That don't look too good, but they're there. They're accounted for. For the other guy, I was gonna give him little suspenders. Oh, it wasn't dry yet. Shoot. That's fine. And then polka dots on the white. This is not fine enough for polka dots. Oh lord. This has gotta be like the worst polka dot attempt I've ever done in my life. Oh yeah, that sucks. Oh well. I'll give her a little bob to make up for it. A little bowl cut real quick. On the house, on the house. Okay. Just wonder, is there anything I can do to save the polka dots? No, she's just gonna be ugly. Sometimes that's all you gotta do. But yeah, these are the first wave. I'm not good at decorating. These are the first wave of designs. Genuinely, the beheaded guy is my favorite. And I like the mushroom. I like how the mushroom turned out. The fire flower, I kind of had to try to do whatever with at the end because I don't have orange. I could mix orange. Can I? No, I can't. I can't mix orange. I don't have yellow. So I'm going to put these back in the fridge. Let's get the other ones out here. Get them all facing the right direction for me. These are a lot more guys, so I'm probably just gonna make these guys a little more generic. Just give them like top, bottom decorations. Make another decapitated dude because I had to try both batches, so there's a second there's a second lad. What? I think I like the other one better. You get pantaloons, you get, let's give you a full, or let's just do shirt for you then. I do want to make like a Santa cookie for one of the bigger ones. Like, let's do that right now. Just full body red, and then we'll be able to add the white on as the accessories and the beard. We go. That's not bad. That's not bad. We'll do a full body like green for her, I think. Yeah. Dress for you. We'll do like green and white for these guys. So on to the little dudes. I'm honestly just gonna, my knee popped, oh my god. I'm just gonna start giving him eyeballs for some of them. Give him like a little crop top. High-waisted pants. Just do this one in red all over. Because I feel like it. And I'm making this up as I go. Once we finish with the round of red icing, I'm going to do some organization with the other cookies. Rotate them to their proper positions before this batch goes off. Oh, their eyes are coming out horribly. I love it. They look horrible. That's very good for us. Let's just do the skirt part right here. And then let's just give you, you're getting a bob. With the harsh bangs. Yeah, okay. That's all I want to do with the red frosting on them right now. So let's move the plate cookies to the cookie jar, move the tray cookies to the plate, and then we will pull the new ones and put a new batch in. This is gonna make so many cookies. I gotta bring some tomorrow. I gotta share. I forgot to cut the cookies like I just told you guys to. You guys want some? Y'all want some? Please help yourselves. Where do I keep putting this mitt? Those are ready. These are still cooling a little bit, so I'm going to scoop this. I hear my cat. My cat just realized his partner has the door closed so that I can stream in here and that he can do his call. My cat doesn't like closed doors, if you guys remember. So that's fun. He's going to have a meltdown. That is started. Let's do green next for some folks. Because we've got the full body greens I want to do. I think I got a pair of eyes on one of them somehow. So we got some green there. Just gonna do green here for this dude's pants. Yeah. Where's it gonna go next? This girlie's getting green. About to hold my cat up to the camera if he keeps yapping. If he wants a show, he can have a show. Oh, he's in here. You want the camera? Just you wait, I'm gonna get you. This guy gets a green shirt, I believe. Then I think this dude I'm just gonna do all green, including his head. do the green pats to match his friend. And then I think we let them wait a little more. Or wait, I wanted to give someone like a split die between red and green. Or I'll do that. I'll do that on this girly once we get her. Let me put the white for her top on now. Everybody sit for a moment. Let's just pile more. No, I'm gonna put these now in the cookie jar and rotate everything again. Alright, another plate of cookies. Now we just see if we have enough for another full dozen after this, or if we make do with something else. Usually I do like 9 on the last batch. If it's divisible by 2 or 3, then it's typically alright to work with. Look at these dudes, look at these dudes. I just want to wrap it up, but I know they need to cool a little bit more before we can do the last touches on them. Actually, these two up here should be ready. The Santas. So let's work on them. We're just very delicate. Okay, they're not quite ready, but we're gonna make do. And then big old beard for Santa Claus. Santa Claus, and then Mrs. Claus gonna give her some boots. Some gloves. And some curly hair. You can't really do curls on here, but just trust that's Mrs. Claus. I'm gonna go ahead and just line up this, even though it's still drying. I'm gonna go ahead and line up the boots on this guy. Go. Oh, I messed it up. That's fine. That's fine. Honestly, I might just do the hair on a few of these and then just call it and put them in the freezer. Since my cat is throwing a fit, allow me to show off him. Never mind. He's taking a shit. I'm not picking him up in the kitchen. He's occupied. There's plenty of him on the channel. Oh, my goodness. I'm not even doing that much, but it's so much energy to get these cookies in. In fact, I could probably pull this next one out now. Right, that one's good. So let me just put in the last of the chocolate chip cookies into the oven. Let's do the last little hair dye and touches on these guys and put them in the freezer. And then I will probably throw us into a BRB for like 10-15 minutes to finish taking care of the rest of the cookie stuff. The fun part is kind of rewinding down here, I feel. So yeah, I will swap us over. I will start up the stream in like 5 minutes after I end this one, but it might run ads and be on the starting soon screen for a bit while I get everything situated and moved over. Yeah, we will start getting ready for the Sims 4 challenge here soon, but let me see how many cookies we get in this last batch. Alright, we've got 8 cookies in the last batch, so just almost 5 dozen of those. If I had accurately made some of the cookies smaller in the earlier batches, definitely would have been 2 dozen or 5 dozen. So that recipe makes a ton of cookies, if you're curious. I'm going to give this dude a little, like, a mohawk. A little single hair strand. Give some of you eyes. Only a few, though. Alright, want to do some split dye on you. Some long split dye, yeah. Let that hair go. So that's the green. That is the red. I think that's what I'm gonna call it for decorating these right now. So I'll just bring you guys to them so I don't throw them all on the floor or something, but that's how our little dudes are looking. I will showcase them at the end of the Sims 4 challenge, also once the chocolate chip cookies have cooled down and once the gingerbread have kind of solidified a bit more, which they should be all set in like 3 hours from now. Then I will showcase the ones that came out the best to you all, and I will take pictures, of course. So let me place these in the fridge. In fact, just look at this dude. Look how this dude came out. Looks better from a distance. Looks better from a distance. But yeah, this one's still got some time to firm up because of how much frosting is on it. So my cat just tried to walk into the fridge. The man, the myth. This is the man screaming, banging on doors. Are you not satisfied? He has no comment without his lawyers present. Alright, well, we've got 5 dozen dark chocolate and mint cookies. We've got like a little under 2 dozen different various gingerbread cookies, so I think that is plenty. Last batch has 5 more minutes to go. All the gingerbread are cooling. Yeah, I'm not gonna like scrub all the dishes right now or fully put stuff away, but I am gonna clean up a little bit. So I am going to wrap up the baking portion of this stream here. I know some folks just flooded in now, but don't worry, this VOD will be going up on the main channel, and it will be up on Twitch, of course. I am making a new VOD channel for most of the VODs in 2026 and beyond to go to, so that the main Emily Cookie Dough channel on YouTube is reserved for the video essays and edited compilations and stuff. But this one, all the 2025 stuff, I want to keep in one place, so this one's going up for you VOD watchers over there, but make sure to subscribe to the new Emily Cookie Dough VODs channel if you want to see the 2026 baking stream and whatnot this time next year. But yeah, I'm going to call it here for the baking portion. We will check in on the cookies at the end of our total streaming today. But give me about like 5 minutes-ish. I need to shut this off, run over to the PC. I will put us on the starting soon screen and run some ads. And then we are going to start our Sims 4 Love Island challenge with characters that people that donated a certain amount during the charity stream submitted, and also existing characters and characters from our Elden Ring playthrough. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to ramp down with that. So I will see you guys soon.